Joel Klatt. And Joel, we've covered UCLA now.
Yeah.
We've been around them a bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite this ugly, but now 0-3. What is your reaction to these tweets?
So there's 12 first-year coaches at their current school in the Power 5 this year. And none of them are having a lot of success. And Scott Frost and Chip Kelly are the only two that don't have a win yet. Chip Kelly is the least of any of my concerns of those 12 guys. He is going to be on the right path. He is on the right path, and he's going to be very good at UCLA. I can't stand this type of helicopter parenting that's going on. And unfortunately, I think it's just because of the Twitter age. Because I'm sure there were parents in your day and age, Shannon, or in my day and age, that were all over the coaching staff. But guess where they did it? Around their own dinner table to aunts and uncles or brothers and sisters or things like or the barbershop.
Or they just call the coach.
Or they would call the coach. I think that's even in rare cases. But now this platform, this Twitter rant, it doesn't do anybody any good, in particular his son.
Yeah.
This puts so much undue pressure on a true freshman that's just trying to learn the system, learn how to be a college student, and learn how to be the starting quarterback at a major program like UCLA. Chip Kelly did not forget how to coach. His 46-7 record at Oregon was not a fluke. And by the way, he was more successful in the NFL than people want to give him credit for. Did you know that his first year in Philadelphia, they went from 4-12 to 10-6 in division champs? Did you know that year they went from 29th in scoring to 4th in scoring and led the NFL in rushing? Does Michael Robinson know that? Does he care to know that? Does he know that UCLA is 118th when it comes to experience in terms of what they brought back this year in college football? Does he know that they have the toughest schedule in all of college football by many accounts? And does he know that this was the start that many of us predicted outside maybe of the Cincinnati game to start the season? This is a team that is in transition. 17 players are not in the two deep that would have been in the two deep if there was if they retained their coach, Jim Mora. This is a total culture change, and I wish Michael Robinson would allow the coach to coach and his son to play and move forward from there.
But you know how this works, Joel. When you come with the name, you get the contract, people expect wins right away. And, we're like, okay, he got to get his players in there. I want these college presidents to say, okay, I know these are not your players. So what we're going to do, we're going to pay you $500,000 to $1 million. And when you get your players and start winning, then we'll give you the big bucks. Because you can't get the big bucks and abdicate responsibility. He bears some culpability in this, Joel. He's not getting it done. Sports is very short. Wins, losses. Are we winning or are we losing? I get it. It's young. But he's not the only coach that has young players. You got to win, Chip Kelly. You understand this. Now, they fired Jim Mora. Jim Mora went 6-7 last year. They fired the man on his birthday. At least you could have waited another day and said, they fired the man on his birthday. Now he got to, they say happy birthday and you're fired.
See ya.
Think about that, Skip. He blowing out cakes and cleaning out his office at the same time. Chip Kelly, you got to get it done. You know how this works.
So, by the way, when I watched UCLA and you two were at the game and did the game at Oklahoma, I thought Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He had some
I think
flashes.
he's a really good young player, no doubt.
Yeah, so I get why his dad is upset. I do not get why his dad would use that platform to go off on that coach this early, because it's just too early to do. If you want to do it to the end of the year, at least I'd say, okay, maybe you got a point or a case. But now let's talk about Chip Kelly. It's always weird to me when I look at somebody's resume and background where you came from. So Chip Kelly started as the conditioning coach at Nevada. Conditioning coach Chip Kelly, I couldn't sort of get that together in my
Looking
head.
at him like conditioning.
I don't know. That's
Is that what you...
Then he coaches at Columbia, and then he's at New Hampshire, and then he's at Johns Hopkins, and then he's back to New Hampshire. And all of a sudden he gets his big break from Mike Bellotti, who liked his offensive acumen, and he brought him up to Oregon, which was already a juggernaut. It had already been established as a Nike powerhouse, right, in Eugene. And he takes over as the offensive coordinator and has a couple of big years. Then Bellotti steps down, and he takes over, and they just go on a run, right, for 4 big years. And he gets his next big break to go to the National Football League to Philadelphia. And right away, he starts to clash with his black skill position stars. And he ends up running a couple of them out of town, and it got ugly with both Deshaun and LaShawn, right?
Correct.
It got really ugly, and it felt like there were some low blows struck on from Chip Kelly's side of that. I just didn't like it, and I still haven't recovered from the Riley Cooper episode. I'm sorry. I'll never get over the way Chip handled or didn't handle that situation. But be that as it may, he did do some pretty to very good things there, and it didn't work out in the end. And he winds up at UCLA as a big-name replacement to a pretty big name in Jimmy Mora. And they get off to a horrendous start, and then they hit bottom Fresno State at the Rose Bowl the other night, and there were like 15 people left in the Rose Bowl at the end of the game. And if we could, did you see the video of what Chip had his team doing near the end of the game while the game is going on? It's 38-14.
They were doing that at Oklahoma. They were doing that.
Did they do it at Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't see it.
Generally during commercial breaks,
what is that?
He keeps them
Is
moving.
this from his days as the conditioning coach?
Apparently.
I don't know. So you're doing running side straddle hops? That would not have gone over well in Philadelphia, I don't think, right?
I don't think it would have.
But
Look at this. Have you ever seen that, Shannon?
I don't know if I never saw this. They would have shown this if this was in Oregon. They would have shown
this is a new thing.
Okay.
And from what I've been told, not from Chip himself, he feels like games have gotten longer since he was last in college football. And so he wanted to combat this by getting the players moving on the sidelines. Now, I would also say that he is one of the innovators in terms of practice schedule that we've seen in college football. He started a long time ago at Oregon, making Thursday the light day, and then Friday get a sweat going again so that you can be at your best on Saturday, very similar to what an Olympic sprinter would do in preparation for a 100 or a 200 meter dash. This is weird when you're 0-3. This is like mold on Nuke LaLoosh's shower shoes, right? When you're a rookie, it's just sloppy.
You went way out there for that.
Well, that was a Bull Durham reference, you know.
I got it.
But when you're a 20-game winner, now it's colorful, you know, and now it's something.
If they're 3-0, are they doing this on the sideline?
I think that they are, and everyone's like, wow, how innovative is this?
It's like a great movie.
That's
exactly.
the thing, Skip. That's the question, is that Mike Shanahan told me once, he said, I'll never accept anything in a win I wouldn't have lost. So I'm asking Chip Kelly, if you're 3-0, you're going to have you guys running in circles because you were 46-7. You said it was 46-7 at Oregon, and I never remembered this. So I think it has more to do with losing, or you're trying to teach a lesson as opposed to actual game. That's just me. I don't know Chip Kelly. You've been around him a lot more than I have, Jenny. You guys have covered him because he's been in the college. But I have a hard time believing that he's 3-0, he's doing this. Now, Nick Saban, look. Now, he wins a lot, but it's hard for me to believe. Well, I can't even imagine Coach Saban being 0-3. Can you imagine that? Coach Saban, they lost 3 games in the last 5 years.
Let's see, is the Miami Dolphins head coach?
Hey, we talking about college, Skip. You ruined every conversation.
He got run out of town.
We're having a great conversation. Joy,
you opened the
Joel
door.
Went,
I ran through it.
I went. You went. We're back
you
to
said,
Joel.
could I imagine him losing? Yep, I could.
In college.
Let me pose you this question, though. Is UCLA better off? I would say absolutely, and whether they win 1 game or no games this year, they're going to be better off with Chip Kelly in the future. I firmly believe that he's going to be just fine at UCLA. I'm much more concerned with some other first-year head coaches around college football than I am Chip Kelly.
I hope he's going to be able to recruit the way Jimmy Moore could recruit because he is a live wire, lightning
How did
rod
that do
recruiter.
for Jim?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, Jim got some of these.
Can you coach your stars? I don't know.
I mean, they never at Oregon had one of those top 5 classes that you would just say, I don't think Chip needs the top 5 class. They did it with scheme. They did it with speed. They never were the pregame
They were going and getting a lot of L.A. kids to go up.
There was a few L.A. kids, and that's the part that I think is going to take off is he gets those right guys. Casimir Allen is a true freshman who is a sprint champion. This guy is a Deshaun type of player. He's I'm forgetting his DeAnthony Thomas. He's kind of a DeAnthony Thomas clone type of a guy. I'm just telling you that Michael Robinson, lay off. Your son's got enough pressure right now. I understand that might be the way you're feeling right now. Let it play out because your son's a heck of a player. Dorian Thompson-Robinson could be a star in the making. I think
so, too.
Just let it happen. Let it happen.
It's LeVar Ball syndrome, right?
Yeah. Well, like you said, but what's the kid supposed to do? Dad, be quiet. He a teenager. He's not a 22-year-old or 23-year-old professional. You're like, Dad, keep on talking. Because I can imagine my grandfather talking. Keep it going, Papa.
Hey, Dorian, tell your dad Stop it. Cut it out. You're not helping me out.
No more. We don't want to hear from the parents.
I know, Jitty.
We don't want to hear.
Jitty.
What?
You got a spare house that he can go stay in? Because that's what he gonna tell us.
Like, seriously, get out of here. They are off this weekend, though, and then they have to face Joel's Buffs at R3 now. So, I mean, hey, I wanted to get you that.
LaVisca Chenault.
They're off to a good
Look
start.
him up.
Joel, thank you for joining us.